in there.
And do you like Colonial, Steve?
I like Colonial. I like almost anything. You know, as long as the space is big. I like the big, wide open concept to a home where you walk into the home and it doesn't feel like it's boxed off into different rooms and walls. I like it so it's almost like one huge area and living area, and like it's great for entertaining, great for watching the kids, and it just gives a more open area feeling to the home.
What rooms would be open concept?
Basically the great room, the living room, where you're going to be spending a lot of your time watching TV,
Kitchen.
reading books. It should be open to the kitchen as well. So like if you ever have parties, you know, people either often congregate into the kitchen where the food is, but if you have a big open area, then it doesn't feel like everybody's congregating in the same area.
Right.
Awesome. So where did you
We
find
do
your home?
agree on something.
Where'd you find
It
your
is
home?
possible. Where did we find it? In Burlington, actually. So I grew up in Stoneham.
And I grew up in Lexington.
Lexington. We currently live in Boston right now. So Burlington's really great. It's actually a huge up-and-coming neighborhood. They're actually comparing it to the south end of Boston just because of how industrialized it's become. And they have a great school system, great community programs.
Great restaurants, the Burlington Mall, and everything else. So we were also looking in another town in Reading, but I'm really glad that we found something in Burlington, because Burlington has more. I've been living in the city for the last 10 years, and I really like the city living, but again, having a family, I do have to change my style. But moving to Burlington is kind of like the best of both worlds, where you get a suburb, but you get all the stores, and I can walk down the street, and you're not to be too far from a big busy area, so I don't feel like I've missed out on the city, but yet I'm still having a family in a nice suburban area.
Yeah, I agree.
Why do you agree?
I just agree because I guess I was agreeing in the sense of I do think it's a perfect compromise for him, especially he's lived in the city a lot longer than what I have.
Well, for 15 years before
Yeah,
that, then
15
I was in the
years.
suburbs for 10 years, and then I moved back to the city.
Right. So I've only been in the city for 2 years, and I think
You said you do love that you're going to miss walking out your door and going to Newbury Street. She loves to shop, and but you know, Burlington, you're going to have to drive a little bit, but not too far.
Is that,
okay, well.
do you like the city stuff?
I do like the city. I think the city's fun. The only thing for me is I'm just in a different place in my life. Like, Steven was single for a long time, and then I kind of came in and I was the whole family bundle package. So I'm just over, every now and then it's nice to go out with your friends, but having a child, you don't really get to appreciate and enjoy the city one-on-one as much as I think you'd like to. So that's why I'm really into being able to be in the suburbs, have more space. That's the other thing. You pay so much money for such cramped living in this city, but the convenience is nice. I'm over the traffic. You know, it's definitely...
the traffic is getting really bad.
Yeah.
So it would be nice not to have to fight the traffic to get home.
But it is nice because Burlington does also boast a lot of the similar restaurants that are found in the city, and everything is pretty convenient. Like by our house we have a lot of stores that are literally like a 5-minute drive. Definitely none in walking distance, I would say, but it's close enough.
Would you say your new house is now your dream home?
Yes, I would. I love our new house so much. So it was actually really funny when we had gone to tour it. We walked in, and obviously, you know, it's a really nice home, and then all of a sudden you hit this great room that has these 2 French doors that open up, and as soon as the realtor opened the doors to the backyard, I was like, oh my God, this is everything. They had an in-ground saltwater pool with, what do you call it, like a little fountain that went into it, a deck, a hot tub, a fire pit. So as we're walking, so as we're walking around the pool, I rip out my cell phone because you're never supposed to show your hand and how you actually really feel about a house, especially with the realtor right there. So I end up texting Steven, being like, this house is everything. We need to do whatever it takes in order to get it. So I sent him that. He reads it and he just gives me like a little nod, being like, okay, we got this.
But interestingly, so it's not ideally perfect. So there is little projects for me as well. the house is really dark. There's no recessed lighting anywhere. So they have the light switch on the plug. So we have to buy a whole bunch of lamps, but we're gonna have to put recessed lighting in. And the bathrooms are a little bit outdated. I have a fabulous bathroom here in our Boston condo, and I'm gonna miss that wonderful 4-head shower. But I guess we can fix that up eventually and make the house our complete dream house.
Yeah, I definitely think some of the things that I don't love about our new house would be the very dark paint job all throughout, and then it's all dark wood too.
Yeah, the wood trim. The trim is all dark wood.
Yeah, and all the doors are dark wood too.
Yeah.
And
So
then
we
the
have to do a lot
kitchen
of
is not
painting.
white. The cabinets aren't white, which I'm trying to figure out if I do want to paint that. Don't
No,
want to
they're
paint
beautiful
that.
cherry cabinets.
Well, we'll also deal with that when we get in there and see what happens. So, and then there's carpeting upstairs, which I'm kind of like not really a huge fan of that. And then the basement is finished. The only I don't love about the basement though, so I do love that you can, and I actually haven't told you this yet. I wish it was a little more open concept. It's kind of blocked off into 3 different rooms almost, so I wish
We'll
it was
have to
more,
look at the structure. She doesn't know that much about
yeah, give him his little reno
architecture.
project that he wants.
They might
so.
be supporting the house, so we might not be able to move any walls in the basement. Usually you can't in the basement.
But so yeah, so I would say definitely little things like that. I definitely